Casey, the trouble is with a lot of these teams, and the same goes for the professional sides who are trying to scout the amateur ones, is we don't know exactly what they're going to look like.
Exactly, and for Corpus Christi on the flip side, you have players that in the back line, like Diaz, Fiorini, that are going to have to be really important in organizing the back line against a more well-known team in Chattanooga.
Of course, this Chattanooga FC side, and during their second year in MLS Next Pro, were a part of NISA for several years. Before that, they were in the NPSL. They've gotten as far as the third round to the round of 32, depending on which iteration of the competition you're speaking about, as we are officially underway from Finley Stadium in Chattanooga, Tennessee, as we invite you to turn off the world and turn on the game. A spot in the second round is up for grabs in the 110th edition. Nick Mendoza, native of Miami, Florida. Here's Callum Watson, England native, a couple too many touches on the ball. And these are going to be important moments for Corpus Christi to try to play out of pressure or at least maintain some possession of the ball.
Well, I think that's going to be important because they're going to need to take kind of that air out of the game a little bit and show that they can possess as well, and because it can be a physical battle as it goes throughout.
Chattanooga FC side, of course, earning qualification via their MLS Next Pro status. Meanwhile, for Corpus Christi, didn't have to go through the local qualifiers. They qualified by being one of the top 9 teams in USL League 2, and a couple of whispers telling us that they were basically ranked 3rd in that USL League 2 pot. So one of the better teams over that summer period, Casey, but when you're looking at those USL League 2 sides, a lot of them are college players, a lot of them are younger guys who are really fit and really active and just trying to stay fresh during the summer months. And talking to Manuel Iwabuchi, that this is a heavily rotated side. There's only about 3 players who have rolled over from that summer team into the team that you're seeing here tonight.
Well, I think you do expect turnover, but maybe not that much.
Early opportunity here for Chattanooga, laid off. Here's Callum Watson, parried away. And the first action of the night for Cuba Grant, the goalkeeper for Corpus Christi, and he's up to the challenge. And for those of you who are watching and do have the volume on, I don't think I need to tell you that it is a rather windy night at Finley Stadium. But an early turnover from Corpus Christi almost resulted in the opening goal for Chattanooga.
Well, it was right when Corpus Christi's getting into that expansive shape, so it's that transition moment that can be extremely dangerous in their final third.
This one has slipped through. It's a good ball for Alex McGrath, the captain for this side. It was poked away, but last touch coming off of McGrath. And it's out for a goal kick. McGrath, a native of Spennymoor, England. Previously was Stumptown AC. It's Keegan Anselin providing the pressure and starting the press for Chris Nugent's side. Chris Nugent, the head coach for Chattanooga, took over in an interim fashion last year. It's so great to see the beautiful game expanding all over the country. And Chattanooga with some expansive play as Steve Louis Jean going for goal. And Corpus Christi with a sliding effort. It looked like it was Daniel Larson who got a touch to it.
That was much better because it was just a little bit more probing, breaking the line, then playing it off, playing the ball in 1-2 touch, a little bit quicker, and it's hard to react as that defensive unit, and that's why there's so much space that Louis Jean's able to see in that moment.
If you're Chris Nugent and Chattanooga FC, are you happy with the first 25 minutes or so?
I think you're happy with the fact that you've established possession, you have your build-up, and I think they expected to have that in this kind of approach to the game from Corpus Christi. But as far as how they're manipulating space, I think that there could be more speed of play, a little more urgency in that final third to try to draw players out of the defensive shape, would be my thoughts on how he would look at this first 25 minutes.
Rodriguez able to touch it along, and Corpus Christi might be in business here. Here's Gabriel Rodriguez cutting inside. Rodriguez going for goal and parried away by the 40-year-old Eldin Jakupovic.
Christie getting into the wide channel as Gabriel Rodriguez cuts it back, gets into the penalty box, and just unleashes a shot, trying to curve it into, and luckily they were organized around that to be able to get the clearance.
First sign of real life in the attacking third from Corpus Christi, and seemingly it is going to be Gabriel Rodriguez who's probably going to string together whatever it's going to be if they are going to score tonight, and that's probably a big reason why he's dropped so deep so many times, like we're seeing right here, just to get a touch on the ball.
And it's so hard to resist against that as a playmaker, as a player that can score, that can finish, to stay higher because you feel like you're not involved in the game at all. And to be fair to him, they're very dependent on him getting on the ball, even in possession, being able to hold up play.
Rodriguez was trying to play quickly, and the referee felt like the ball wasn't exactly where the foul was committed. Nice little layoff pass. Corpus Christi again in on goal. Jakupovic parries it away off of his line and able to collect.
Corpus Christi getting into the box, getting a shot off. Jakupovic with a great save, almost a second opportunity. But what I like from Jakupovic is he looks to play.
So Jakupovic, who really had nothing to do throughout the first 24 minutes, called into serious action over the last two. Here's Anselin. Good sense of where the pressure was for Nieto. The back heel almost came off. Pops out for Maguz, and he'll have a go from distance. And Jakupovic had his feet moving, and it was actually a little bit closer than I think even he thought. Well, that's going to do it for the first half. Corpus Christi up for the challenge against Chattanooga FC as the amateur side, giving everything that Chattanooga can handle. All locked at 0-0. Both goalkeepers had to make a couple of saves in the first half. What does the second half have in store? You're going to have to stick around and find out, as potentially we might have a cup set here. So Rodriguez goes into the book right around the 68th minute. Chattanooga thought they had something cooking and disrupted by a foul right outside of the penalty area. Some frustration on the part of Emerson Nieto of Corpus Christi, and now another set-piece chance, but to say that Chattanooga have wasted them tonight would be the understatement of the night.
And Corpus Christi is starting to jump in the wide spaces, but Chattanooga's able to find Minjae Kwok in this moment. He gets to go forward in the 1v1. That is where they look the most dangerous, where they have to draw out Corpus Christi. They're starting to do it more and more, and Corpus Christi is going to have to show a little more composure when they are beaten and not give up these opportunities.
Keegan Anselin, Logan Brown, two of the bigger targets where Tate Robertson and company are going to be looking. It is Robertson. It's not a bad ball in. It's Logan Brown. It's at the back stick, and there was shouts for a potential high foot, and it's eventually cleared away. A no call from the referee. Well, Chattanooga finally getting some life from a set piece. They got exactly what they wanted with the initial header from Brown. Robertson again. Trying to get to the end line, had the door slammed shut initially by Matt Roberts. Here's Kwok towards the byline, gets the cross away, and a glancing header from Keegan Anselin wasn't too far away.
And the game starts to become a little bit more back-to-back, but it starts off that set piece, which was a great opportunity put in. The initial header was an opportunity, gets to the back post, it's cleared. There were arguments for a high kick in that moment, but then they continue to go, and it's Anselin who just starts right in front at the near post with his height. That's a dangerous opportunity and a very good cross.
Well, that's exactly what you want from Minjae Kwok as well, coming on as fresh legs at halftime, driving towards the byline and driving at the Corpus Christi back line. see if these fresh legs for Mangarov again. There's a much better delivery. It's met by Mason Dalton, and that's going to do it for regulation. We're headed to extra time. Corpus Christi and Chattanooga FC, nothing to separate them after 90 minutes. Chattanooga wearing their navy blue kits, Corpus Christi wearing their whites. We are still on cup set alert, and away we go in extra time. Nothing to separate these two sides. And of course, Sporting Kansas City 2 and Des Moines Menace 0-0 at halftime, while one Knoxville have taken a 2-0 lead over Appalachian in the final 20 minutes of the second half. And Inter Miami 2 have scored 3 unanswered goals against Miami United. As Corpus Christi will earn themselves a free kick here, and they haven't had too many set-piece opportunities tonight.
But Jack Thomas has done really well since coming on late in the second half, just buzzing around Rodriguez there, being really smart, using back to goal, using that aggression against him to draw the set piece.
And it looks like there's only going to be one player who takes this for Corpus Christi. Gabriel Rodriguez, as he immediately went to go grab the ball. And it looks like Thomas and Emerson Nieto are going to defer. Rodriguez going for goal, and Jakupovic eventually able to slide over and collect in what was a rather easy save in the end. And it was always going to be difficult for Rodriguez on that angle as a lefty to be able to really challenge Jakupovic. Logan Brown getting forward, University of Dayton product. And the Flyer will switch the point of attack. Barna was cutting inside, but again dealt with by this stern Corpus Christi back line. Mangarov, former Virginia Cavalier. Ibarra, hopeful cross, and met by Larson.
While there is a fatigue factor for the Chattanooga side as well, they do look to be a little bit more lively. 1 and 2 touch in that final third, I think, can really help them. McGrath has been really good on the ball, so I'd like to see him get on it and try to combine in that central area.
Lewis Jean. Logan Brown again. Poked out wide for McGrath. Whipped in, but straight into the hands of Cuba Grant. Corpus Christi wanted to shove in the back on Magoo's. Brought down by McGrath. Magoo's trying to switch the point of attack. Clock was there, and then Daniel Larson with an uncharacteristic first touch.
There's going to be those moments at this point in the game, and you mentioned new players coming into their defensive structure. That could be really hard to make sure it still stays really stingy, but so far they've come into it and had some really good partnerships.
McGrath lets one fly, and Cuba Grant able to cover it up. But a shot from about 25 yards out is arguably the best chance of the night for Chattanooga FC.
And that's the space that's being given up, is just if you can beat that line in the midfield, there is a little bit of space because their back line is retreating and not stepping to block that opportunity. But it does say something that they were able to limit the opportunities to a shot from distance.
If you're on the side of Chattanooga, and if you're a Corpus Christi fan watching at home right now, you're saying take as much time as you would like, because getting to penalties is probably the goal at this point for Corpus Christi, given all the injuries that have unfolded. But Casey White, your thought on the first 15 minutes of extra time?
Well, I think you said it right there, is they're going to be hoping to get into penalties at this point. They have to just stay in their shape because they do not have the energy to make this end-to-end at any point.
And we have seen a lot of scoreless soccer right now. And for those of you who are true, organic, grass-fed lovers of the beautiful game, this is just what the doctor ordered for you as we're trying to decide who's moving on to the second round of the 110th edition, formerly of New Mexico United in the new USL Championship. And Steve Louis-Jean pushes it across for Kwok. And he commits the foul.
I don't mind this from Kwok. It's an obvious foul, of course, but I just like that he's putting his head down, trying to make something happen in the final third, just get behind that pressure. It doesn't work out this time, but I like this from him. He wants the ball, he's asking for it, and he's looking to take on. But Roberts does really well, just gets his body in front to defend.
Thomas trying to rise for the header. Logan Brown finding Jesus Ibarra. And that is an excellent challenge from Daniel Larson. Well, it was a beautiful night for some soccer here at Finley Stadium. Temperatures are around 55, 60 degrees at the time of kickoff. It's obviously dropped a little bit, but the crowd have made their way out to Finley, getting a little bit more than they bargained for. Not just the play on the field from Corpus Christi, as this is unloaded from distance by Alex McGrath and punched away by Cuba Grant. That's the first real save that he's had to make in quite some time. Intensity. And here's the shot from McGrath again.
It's just that half space from McGrath. I like that he takes it on the second touch off the back. It's just that half space from McGrath. I like that he takes it on the second touch off the bounce. A good save, though, from Grant and just out of danger.
McGrath now switching the point of attack, and Garvagnon just has to see it out of play. Jack Thomas staying with it, gets around Louis-Jean. Shrugged off the ball by McGrath, who in one motion collects the ball and says get up to the defender. And then the foul is called against Corpus Christi, and they're going to feel hard done by that sequence. Well, it certainly wasn't a foul initially on Jack Thomas, but foul called against them. Probably could have gone either way, and McGrath inching forward again. Screen. Garvagnon. He's been rather dormant on this left wing. Getting forward from the left wing back position.
When you play an opposition with a 5-back, you really are dependent on those outside backs to get forward, and we haven't seen a whole lot of it, like you mentioned, off this left side. A little bit more off the right side early on from Robertson, but they want to try to use that to draw out the outside backs, and it just isn't happening.
Garvagnon again. Good delivery in, knotted down! And finally, we've got our breakthrough! And it's the veteran, Marcus Nagosta. 112 minutes in, finally Chattanooga can breathe.
And this is exactly the type of play that we've been talking about throughout this game that would be beneficial.
Sent in. First ball is dealt with. Roberts on the turn. Clip towards the back post. And it trickles all the way out of play, and that's going to do it full time. Chattanooga FC survive. And we'll head on to the second round, but a valiant effort from the USL League 2 side.